Hello, white people. I am making this video to debunk spin doctors, leftards, and libshits. I am so sick and tired of reading in the comment sections on social media how affidavits don't mean anything, when in fact affidavits are testimony, i.e. evidence. And so these libshits, leftards, and spin doctors keep saying that there is no evidence of election fraud, when we know, if we look up the definitions of things, because these libshits, they rely on us not knowing the definitions and asking them what the definition is, and they get to use their revisionism or revisionist idea of the world and make up their own definitions of things. And so they lie. They're just a bunch of liars. What is an affidavit in the first place? An affidavit is a written testimony. It is equivalent to sitting up on a stand in front of a judge and jury and swearing to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to the best of your ability. Okay, so this is really important. This part's really important, to the best of your ability. Because sometimes when we give evidence of what we see as fact, when we leave, we might see, have some sort of a realization, well, maybe that wasn't quite right, or something happens, right? And you change your perspective, or you remember something else and you need to add to that testimony. An affidavit is equivalent to testimony. It is evidence, and it is not hearsay. If you hear somebody having a conversation, you are a witness. When you write down or even sit in front of a judge and jury in a courtroom and you say, I witnessed this person saying blah, 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 that's evidence. But hearsay is when you hear somebody talking about something somebody said. Does that make any sense? So these spin doctors are trying to say that if you're a first-hand witness to a conversation, even though you're not part of that conversation, it's hearsay. They don't know their definitions. And since we're on the topic of hearsay, the only time that hearsay can be presented as evidence is if the person who is the first-hand witness cannot testify because they have either passed away or are incapacitated and unable to testify. Anyway, if you were to lie about your affidavit, it's the same punishment as if you were to sit in front of a judge and lie. You get charged with perjury. And now on affidavits, you might lie about your weight, because I always lie about my weight. Why am I going to be honest about my weight? I might fib on my age, but those kind of things, I might get my address, the numbers of my address transposed. I might mess up my social security number. Those kind of things will not have a perjury charge. They're not going to get you thrown into jail. What is going to get you a perjury charge, and you could possibly be facing a prison sentence, is that if your testimony affects somebody. So if there is a judgment, say somebody goes to jail based on something you said, or fined or whatever, there are consequences. So now federal consequences, federal perjury has a 5-year jail time. I think it's up to 5 years, and then there may also be a fine. And then states are a little bit different, 2 to 10 years. And I think in Texas, you can spend up to 10 years in jail for perjury and have to pay a $10,000 fine. That's pretty staggering. So for people who think that affidavits are nothing, there are some very heavy consequences to these affidavits, especially during this election. And if you identify as a Republican or a conservative, you have a target on your back, especially if you fill out an affidavit claiming election irregularities. And in Michigan State, Wayne County specifically, people there, the Republicans, didn't want to certify election results. And what happened to them? They were threatened to the point where they, under duress, certified election results, and then they had to backtrack, whatever. Just a big giant mess. But anyway, I'm just saying that nobody is going to willy-nilly fill out an affidavit claiming election irregularities. They have way too much to lose if they do that. All right, white people, that's the damage for now. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to your thoughts below.